Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, another blow was dealt to this government's attempt to justify their continued inaction on protecting old growth. 3 independent scientists did the work, frankly, that the Ministry of Forests should have done a year ago. These scientists mapped out the forests across BC that meet the old growth panel's criteria for immediate logging deferrals. These are the rarest, grandest, highest risk old growth areas in our province. With this blueprint, the NDP government has the information they need to protect these forests. They have the tools that will make this happen. So what's missing? The only thing that's missing, it's become clear over the past year, is the political will to do anything other than to continue to liquidate these forests. My question is to the Minister of Forests. She has the information handed to her. She has the tools at her disposal to make the change. Will she live up to the Premier's promise and immediately defer logging in these rare stands of old growth forests?
Minister of Forest, Lands, Natural Resource Operations.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the member for the question. And we all know that BC's ancient forests are part of what makes this province such a great place to live. We are doing the work that needs to be done to protect them. We have started doing that work, protecting hundreds of thousands of hectares. We are continuing to do that work. We are doing the work, and we will continue to do that work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Saanich Northern Ireland, supplemental.
We're doing the work. We're going to do the work. The work's being done. Work, work, work. There's a song about that. The fact that that would get a clap is just ridiculous. The answer is brutal. The inaction is brutal. And for the past 3 years, while we've asked questions about old growth logging, our BC NDP colleagues have stared at the ground, just wishing it would go away. Well, we won't, Mr. Speaker. These ancient forests, our elders, need someone who will stand up for them. Now British Columbians are being arrested because the people who were elected to do so have not. The work has been done by these 3 scientists who have laid out a step-by-step process for the government if they're confused. They couldn't have been more clear. Quote, "Deferrals are a means to an end, but they are not the end goal. Immediate, appropriate deferrals are critical to create space for conservation, moving rapidly towards identifying adequate forest for protection, recruitment, and long-term resiliency is of utmost urgency," end quote. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the maps that the scientists released yesterday, as I hope the minister has, you'll be struck by just how little is left. These ancient, majestic forests are vanishingly rare. They look like specks of dust on the map. My question again is to the Minister of Forests. Will she live up to the promise that was made by the Premier and immediately defer logging in these last rare stands of old growth forests?
Minister of Forest. Minister of Forest.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And our government has taken action by already protecting hundreds of thousands of hectares of old growth that were previously left vulnerable. We know there's more work to do, and we are doing just that. We are engaging with workers, with communities, with companies, with environmental groups, and having those really important government-to-government discussions with Indigenous nations. We are looking at the maps. We are looking at the areas. We are also looking at where the Indigenous nations have a right to be consulted, to have those discussions with them. And we are undertaking those very, very important discussions. We know that there's more work to do, and we are doing that. It might not make the member happy that we aren't doing it on his schedule, but we are doing it on the schedule of the people of the province. We are doing it by ensuring we are having those very, very important government-to-government discussions with Indigenous nations on whose territories he is referring to. We are doing that work, Mr. Speaker, and we will continue to do it.